to my very first vlog. Today we're going to be making Mommy and Daddy's no-share chocolate chip cookies. This recipe was especially made just to yield 4 pretty large cookies so that you and your husband can eat them quietly in peace without your kids, and you don't have to share them in the morning. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and just get started. The very first thing we're gonna do is measure out 4 tablespoons of room temperature butter, 5 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I am just pressing that brown sugar down into the butter and then scraping the sides of my dish. And you just want to mix this until all of the lumps are out. And once that's all mixed together, the next thing that we're going to do is take your egg. You're going to crack this egg separately, and then you're going to want to go ahead and whisk it before we measure out the half teaspoon that you're going to use. This is a little difficult to measure out, so it's okay if you get a little extra. It's better to have too much than not to have enough, so overdo it if you have to. But you'll notice some of the egg kind of slips out of your measuring spoon when you're trying to pick it up. So you may have to do it 2 or 3 times to get an accurate measurement. And then we're going to whisk that in as well. Now, setting our wet ingredients aside, we're going to measure out our dry ingredients in a separate bowl. So this is 8 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And then we're going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of all of the following items. You're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of cornstarch, which I know that sounds weird to put in cookies, but that's what makes these cookies so chewy. And then you're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon as well of baking soda. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm just going to whisk these together before I put them into my wet ingredients. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add our dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, but I like to sift mine through. I just feel like when you're measuring out your dry ingredients, it really compacts them into your measuring spoons and your measuring cups, and this really helps create a very light cookie. And you may notice there's a couple little lumps in here, and that's okay. You don't need to do anything with them. We're just going to discard those. Mix this all together. Once your dough is completed, you can add any kind of chips in here that you want. So don't feel like you are confined to the restraints of a regular chocolate chip cookie. So I'm going to give you a couple of my favorites, and then, like I said, you can add whatever chips you want. So Nestle Toll House makes chocolate chunks, which I really like that idea. So that's a big bite of chocolate every time you bite into one of these cookies. So you can use chocolate chunks. You can use the regular semi-sweet chocolate. So Ghirardelli and Nestle both make a really good semi-sweet. Hershey's makes a sea salt caramel. So I haven't actually tried this one, but I am going to today. So we're gonna add a couple of these chips. And then my all-time favorite, I have always liked dark chocolate, so I always gravitate towards bittersweet, the Ghirardelli 60% bittersweet chocolate chips. So I am going to go ahead and add 4 tablespoons of chocolate chips. And then I'm gonna add a few extra of these sea salt caramel guys, but you don't have to do that. Again, make these whatever you guys are craving. Okay, so like I said, I am gonna add some of these sea salt caramel chips. And then we're going to divide this dough into 4 equal sized cookies. So we're making pretty good sized cookies here. 4 very large ones. You You could even make 6 medium to small ones. So I'm just gonna shape these into a little ball and set them about 2 to 3 inches apart on a parchment paper lined baking sheet. And then the last thing we're gonna do before we bake these is I am gonna toss them into the freezer for about 10 minutes and just let them get nice and cold. Once the dough is completely frozen, so about 10 minutes in the freezer should do it, we're just gonna put these into a preheated oven at 350 for about 12 to 13 minutes.